Hey everybody, it's Pat and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do a quick Q&A. I say quick because I got 2 questions. Better than nothing. Alright, so last week I posted a video thanking all of you beautiful people for subscribing to my channel. I just surpassed 1,000 subs, so I'm really stoked about that. And towards the end of the video, I asked people to ask me questions if they wanted to. And I got 2 questions, so it's going to be a short Q&A, but if you want to ask me questions, you can do so below or on any of my videos, and I'll pick some questions and answer them, or in this case, pick all of them and answer them. You know, we can start a whole little Q&A thing. We'll post these on Friday. If there are questions, if there aren't any, well, I won't post any. Anyway, we'll get started. First question comes from Mark. He goes, only question I have is, what was your motivation to start a channel? Thanks. The main reason why I started this channel is because I wanted to do something new. Like, I'd been in bands for more than 10 years and obviously never made it as a rock star or whatever you want to call it. And I was kind of getting sick of the eternal cycle of practicing every single week and then booking one show, then going back to practicing and then trying to book a tour and whatever. It was just getting harder and harder after all these years to keep on doing it and to rely on bandmates for stuff and whatever. So I just decided to go solo first as an artist, and also decided to start a YouTube channel as sort of a new challenge. But I didn't start making videos and posting them on my channel for probably 2 years, actually. There's a point where I told myself, yes, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I thought that experience that I'd learned being in bands and whatever sort of wasn't enough or wasn't worth sharing on YouTube. I just kept telling myself, like, who the hell am I to make videos that can teach people about music or being in bands or about the music industry or anything like that? I hardly know anything about it. So for many years, I actually didn't do it because I thought that my knowledge or my experience wasn't worth sharing. And like, I would watch Casey Neistat, who would, you know, tell you to do what you can't, or Gary Vee, who would tell you to post content, start a podcast and a YouTube channel, all that stuff. And I kind of ignored that because I still thought that what I had to say wasn't worth anything. But then there's a YouTuber that came along, a fellow Canadian, whom I saw rise from 100,000 to several million subscribers very fast, and that guy's Peter McKinnon. Seeing a guy close to home rise like that, and actually then making videos telling you should do the same, that was like the final kick in the butt. I just decided to get started at that point. And I still suffer from the occasional imposter syndrome, where I think that what I have to say probably isn't worth anything to anyone, especially when you look at all the great music channels on YouTube, like Rick Beato, Adam Neely, just to name 2. Like, those are some of my favorites. I'm like, who am I compared to those guys? But, you know, I keep doing them and people seem to like some of the videos I make. They subscribe, and that's good enough for me, man. I love doing it. I'm not going to stop anytime soon. And seeing people interact with some of my videos, like your question, for example, is really motivating to me. So I'm just going to keep going. So thank you for asking. Let's move on to the second and last question. Nick Burt asks, can you make more podcasts, please? Thank you, Nick, for the shameless plug. Thanks, buddy. So Nick Burt is actually one of my best friends of all time. He's like a brother to me. He played bass in Bad Captain. We lived together for some time too, and I just love this guy. And he's probably the only fan of my podcast out there. He's probably the only guy who actually listens to it. So Nick, either you didn't know this or you just want me to plug my podcast, but I've actually been making episodes almost every week since December. So just check your podcast app, and there's probably 6 or 7 more podcasts for you to listen to. And I make them pretty much exclusively for you. So happy listening. And for other people who want to listen to the podcast, I'll link it below. I have a whole channel for it. I actually film the podcast, or just look for Pat Flanagan's Jam Space on, you know, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that stuff. You'll find it there. There's about 22 episodes, and I make them every week. All right, that's it. Those are the 2 questions I got for my first Q&A. If you want to contribute and ask questions, you can do that down below. If you enjoy this video, you can click like or subscribe if you haven't done that already. Thanks for asking questions, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.